But we're going to talk about weight loss. Now, why are you so fat, guys? Well, doesn't that make you feel good? Why are you so fat? Now, I like to eat. Now, let me tell you something, guys. Your weight happens to be a success. Do you realize that? You're not a failure. Now, I know if you look at yourself and you look at your mirror and you go, I don't even want to look at the mirror. Isn't that right? You think your weight is a failure and you feel like a failure. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Right? And you know what that feeling helps support? Being overweight. The more you feel like a failure, the more you curse your size, the more you obsess about your weight, the bigger you get. Do you realize that your current size, and not only your current size, but your current relationships that you have in your life, the current financial situation you have in your life, is based on successes or programs installed? Now, guys, if you're not overweight, you have a different program. Now, how do you get overweight? How do you gain the weight? I'll tell you, it's really simple. You love food. You eat food when you're bored. You use food to punish yourself. You eat because all your friends eat. You eat because, oh my God, it just smells so wonderful. Isn't that right? You eat, oh man, that just looks good. Don't you love me, Trish? I made that for you. Go ahead and eat it all, please. You don't like me? No. I made that for you.
That's good.
That's a $150 plate, Patsy. You should eat it all. After all, you didn't pay for it. That's the guilt program, isn't it? When you went to Grandma's house, guess what she always tried to do? Feed you. And guess what? And she's doing it because she loves you. That's a way of expressing love. And here you are, you're home all by yourself. You're alone. You cooked this dinner enough for two. You ate yours, and there's somebody else that should have ate that other part. And since you're alone and good girls, we want to make a happy plate. And I had this girl, this is really a true story. This girl said I'd go out on a date, and she said, aren't you going to make a happy plate to him? What do you mean a happy plate? Well, clean it up. He didn't do it, so she ate it all for him. We want to make happy plates. Now, does that sound like a little kid sitting at the table, mama saying, make a happy plate? Please me, make me happy. And if you're feeling unloved and you want some love, chocolate. Oh, all those hormones. There must be some special hormone in chocolate that makes me want this stuff. You know, that's what they want you to believe. You know who they are? People who sell chocolate. And they're going to hire specialized researchers to prove that too, by the way. But does that kind of make sense? Are you a failure at your current weight? The answer should be no. So what we want to do is figure out how you did it. Isn't that right? Don't do it again. Well, just change the program, right? And what we want to do is change our belief system about it. Isn't that right? So what we want to do is we're going to start working in our book, and we're going to start making changes. So one of the things I want to show you is how your brain works. Does anybody know how your brain works? Not very well. Okay, first thing I want to introduce you is to your brain. All right, guys, what is stress? What makes you stress? Anxiety. Okay. What is stress? Anybody, what is stress? You know what stress is? I'll tell you what stress is. Those of you who attend my seminar, well, who haven't attended my seminar, what is stress? Charlotte, what is stress? Children. Our
perception.
Well, definitely our perception. You've already been to my seminar. She knows. You're so smart. Trish, what do you think, Trish? What is thoughts? Yeah. Do you have stressors in your life? Mm-hmm. Is that a 10?
No. 15.
A 15? All right. So most people think stress is my job, my children, my husband, my wife, my ex-wife, my ex-husband, my children, grandchildren, in-laws, the outlaws. They think it's outside you. That's where the stressors are. But really, what is stress? Again, if you believe that... Now, there are certain things that will occur in your life. For example, if I have a bill that I have to pay, right? No matter what I tap on, that bill is going to stay there. Do you realize that? Now, if you have a job and you have a task to do, you still have to do it. But it's the feelings, the emotions, and the attitudes that you have about the task. Say, for example, you have something that's bothering you, and it's something that you cannot control, but you can control and change what? Your attitude. Now, what is attitude? Attitude is based on feelings, emotions, and how you represent that. Isn't that right? So you can change that. Now, here's the amazing thing. Once you change your attitudes, your feelings, and your emotions about it, things happen your way usually. And if they don't, you don't take it personal. Does that make sense? So what we want to do is build emotional intelligence. So this is what stress is, and you will read this next week. Stress is your body's reaction to perception. That's a good one to write down. Stress is your body's reaction to perception. But what is perception? Now here's something interesting. 2 people can have, or 5 people can have the exact same job. The exact same boss came in and said the exact same words to the whole group. Right? The reactions are different. One lady will throw her pen down, grab her purse, go to the Coke machine, buy her a soda, a couple of candy bars. She'll go downstairs, eat them all, smoke a half a pack of cigarettes, right? And then she'll go back up. And the others may just say, well, they got problems, no big deal, it's just a job, we got to do it. But her perception is totally different. Now, why is it that she acted that way and others acted a different way? Her experiences, her references, and how she sees things. Isn't that correct? All right? So, if you're the one who gets upset and gets angry, and you'll go down and you'll buy your candy bar, or you'll go yell at somebody, or some people will internalize it. Some people will take it and put it right up here in their head. And all of a sudden, they'll have a migraine all of a sudden start. She'll take it personal. She'll blame herself. She'll feel guilty even though she didn't do it. And then she'll have this migraine for a few days. Someone else may feel it right in her stomach. All of a sudden he or she will have, my ulcers are acting up. I must have a defective stomach. And then she'll start looking at the stomach and say, man, my stomach must be bad. Again, is it the stomach or the reaction to? Reaction to. Other people will carry it in their intestines. Some will carry it in their sciatica nerve or in their neck. Say, I've got a pain in my rump. I said, don't be talking about your husband like that. But isn't it crazy though? Somebody can be thinking about something and all of a sudden they have a hurt in their body. They can think about something positive and all of a sudden that pain disappears. So, what's the problem? How you process information. But the difference is, and what we want to do is change how we process the information. Isn't that correct? We're talking about emotional intelligence, aren't we, guys? Now, that's what this seminar is all about. So let me ask you, if you're lonely, if you're sad, if you're all by yourself, if things are bothering you and the only way you know how to escape those feelings is to go eat, guess what happens? You get bigger, wouldn't you? Now, if you as a child raised up and the only way that you found your safety or your comfort is eating food, guess what's going to happen when you get older? Do you realize I'm almost 46 years old? And you know what? You're getting older too. And do you know the older you get, things change a lot? The security of having family and all of a sudden your kids are growing up, they're leaving you. You'll get fired from a job or you'll get laid off. Your husband leaves you, your wife leaves you, they die. Your grandmother dies, your dog dies, your frog dies, and all of a sudden you don't know how to deal with those emotions. What do? Go eat. And if that's your only way of coping with your problems, what happens?